Godfather Gorney podcast, most popular podcast on the internet. We're here to talk not just playoff, really, not just playoff. Let me turn this off, freaking people. But January 1st bowls too. So let's start with the two segue games. I guess because they're somewhat interesting, which is Georgia and Cincinnati. So this is Cincinnati's chance to show that they belong in the playoff by beating a two-loss Georgia team, but a two-loss Georgia team, because they had Stetson Bennett as their quarterback, obviously things changed with JT Daniels. Who do you got? UGA's given a touchdown.
I got Georgia comfortably. JT Daniels is the difference maker. Cincinnati looked very average against Tulsa. I don't think Cincinnati can score, and I think they're going to get overpowered. And I also think Georgia is sick of hearing that they don't show up for bowl games that aren't the national championship and all that kind of stuff. So I think Georgia's going to be focused in this game. I definitely don't think they want Cincinnati to beat them. As in years past, they probably just didn't care about the game. Baylor, Georgia doesn't really mean a whole lot. But I think they're tired of hearing that, and so I think Georgia wins big. Plus, the money's on Georgia, so I like Georgia.
Yeah, I like Georgia too. I think this is sort of a springboard into next season. Daniels is back.
We think.
I mean, obviously, there was an article on UGA Sports, about the decision. But if he comes out, he can't come out.
No, it's not going to be a smart move, I don't think.
I mean, what round do you think he would go in?
First.
No way. JT Daniels?
Okay. After Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, if you want to take Justin Fields.
He's sliding a little bit, but Justin Fields is going to be a first rounder.
Trey Lance and Kyle Trask, who would you take?
Zach Wilson. Don't forget him.
Maybe.
No, he's a first rounder for sure.
Didn't look good against Coastal Carolina.
I'm just saying that he's rising on the boards above Fields, actually. And I don't believe in Lance, but, someone will want to look smart or try to look smart.
Would you let JT Daniels fall to the second round is my question.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
There's not a big enough body of work for me to say first round, And especially, and I know this has nothing to do with JT Daniels, but more and more, the NFL is going to start looking at how long you played. Mitch Trubisky stinks. He's been a bust. He's better now, but still a bust. Very limited playing time at UNC. Dwayne Haskins is an embarrassment.
Well, I think Wentz is the best example of this.
Well, there's a good one. I mean, he regressed, which is weird.
Yeah.
But staying power. So you got Daniels, who's played what? How many games?
Played his entire freshman season. Got hurt in the first game of his sophomore season. Transferred and has now played 3 at Georgia, I believe. Won all 3. Blew people out. So that's
15 game resume. 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and you think he's a first rounder?
12 interceptions because he had no offensive line at USC. You have to look at his stats at Georgia.
Yeah, 9 TDs, 1 pick, 66% passing. That's solid, but you're talking millions and millions of guaranteed dollars here to a guy who was got a knee that had to be repaired. B,
Justin Fields has a hand, though. He's got that hand problem that he's flexing it out.
That's made up. They took the freaking ball out of his hands, and they had to come up with an excuse for why it's made up.
Yeah.
I just no way. JT Daniels is not even a sniff the first round. Talented kid, but I'm not. If I'm a GM, I'm not putting my stock and job into a guy who's played 15 college football games with a bad knee. No. So we got off on a little tangent there, but
Georgia wins big. JT Daniels.
And I think this is a kickoff to next season. I think Daniels is not an idiot. I think he comes back. And I
Yeah.
think Georgia looks at this and says, hey, we got our quarterback. We've got all this talent in the roster. We're going to make a run at, the SEC East next year and take revenge on Florida. So I think Cincinnati is going to, Desmond Ridder, solid. He doesn't do it for me.
No.
Cincinnati's defense has been very good. Marcus Freeman and, that defense has been very good. But I think they might take the wrath of Georgia here, and get plugged. So
Yes.
I think we both agree, except for JT Daniels' first round stock, which arguably, I mean, we probably got another 40 minutes of podcast, but that's the most ridiculous thing that you could possibly say on this podcast, I think.
Do you know how good JT Daniels is? Like one of the best quarterbacks in the country. There's no doubt about it. And if he was given the opportunity to play all year at Georgia, we might be talking about a team that could be in the college football playoff. There's just no doubt about it. He's so good.
Yeah, but again, first round, you're just throwing out first round quarterback draft. I mean, and there's others too. Who am I missing? I mean, Mac Jones is at the end of the first round to some people. I saw a mock draft early with like 5 quarterbacks taken in the top 13 picks.
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Well, if that happens, maybe somebody goes late on JT Daniels out of desperation, but I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, there's no way first round. So JT Daniels should come back. It's good for college football. It's good for Georgia. It's good for the SEC, and they should blow them out. Auburn Northwestern, very interesting game here. Could be the swan song for Pat Fitzgerald because of all the transfers.
Yes.
And the portal people. And Auburn, starting over with a new coach. They've got talent, no doubt about it. They're the more talented team, but Northwestern's defense, I think, will stifle Auburn's mixed up offense, and I think Northwestern puts Fitzgerald into the NFL on top.
Mike, you are wrong.
They are laying 3, by the way.
The problem with this game is that this is exactly who Northwestern should not be playing. If they were playing kind of Auburn's just going to overpower them. Tank Bigsby's going to run over them. They're just,
So you think
this
Tank
is kind of
Bigsby's going to do Trey Sermon-like things?
Do I think what?
You think he's going to do Trey Sermon-like things to Northwestern?
Yes. That's the problem. Auburn is too Northwestern can't deal with Auburn up front. Bigsby's going to run over them.
All right.
Auburn's so bad though, like this could be like a 7-3 kind of game.
Their offensive line stinks.
I know, but Bigsby's going to run over them. That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying is that, the Ohio State offensive line is really good, and they overpowered Northwestern. Auburn's.
I don't want to talk about this game because both teams are just so boring. And Northwestern, come on. I mean, if Ohio State.
You got Auburn getting the 3?
Yeah, and here's why, because 98% of the money's on Auburn right now. Early betting is smart money, and that's how I'm going.
Early?
Why think about it any other way?
There's another one. Early money, smart money?
Sure, yeah. Early money is smart money.
No,
The sharp bettors get in early.
I'm learning.
Oh, yeah.
I'm learning from the guru.
The sharp bettors get the early lines, take advantage of them, then the lines change. And the early money is sharp money. So early money's on Auburn. I'm taking Auburn. The game is probably going to be 13-7. Still boring.
I'm trying to see. This is going to be out Wednesday. So we can talk about Florida, Oklahoma, because that's intriguing. We don't have to talk about Wake Forest and Wisconsin because they both stink.
Yeah.
Florida has no receiver.
Yes.
Everybody's gone. Oklahoma thinks they're the bomb, right? We've won 8 straight, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. Spencer Rattler, the next Heisman winner, blah, 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 blah. The line is OU 3. Hasn't moved a lot since we found out those receivers are not going to be playing.
So who's not playing? Grimes is out.
Grimes is opting out. Tony's opting out. Pitts is opting out.
Oh.
And Copeland is COVID.
And Marco Wilson is out.
Well, that's actually bad news for.
I saw that. That was funny. And Florida really can't run the ball that much.
They can't run the ball. So here are their top receivers. Ready? All right. Kadarius Toney gone. There's 70 catches. Kyle Pitts gone, 43 catches. Trevin
Yeah.
Grimes, gone, 38 catches. Jacob Copeland, 23 catches, gone. Blake Davis, their running back, is the next in line,
Okay.
29 catches. Justin Shorter is their number one receiver.
Former 5-star.
Yep, former 5-star. He got 23. Daquan Wright has 17 catches. Then you've got the Zip Man, Keon Zipperer. Then you've got Keymore Gamble. So they have 9. Keymore Gamble's got 9 catches and Zipperer's got 7. Xavier Henderson is going to have the game of his life.
Yeah.
And then you got Trent Whittemore and Rick Wells and some guys that sound like they were in 80s bands. Like, I don't know who they are. So Florida's in big trouble, but the line hasn't moved. It's 3 and it's staying 3. Weird, but Trask has nobody to throw to. So who do you got?
But I'm so tempted to, but it flipped, didn't it? Oklahoma opened plus 2.5 and is now minus 2.5.
I thought they were minus to start with. Maybe you're right.
No, they opened plus 2.5. So that's a big flip. Oklahoma. I'm so tainted by what happened to Oklahoma last year, being superbly embarrassed by LSU in the college football playoff. But since Florida if Florida had everybody playing, Florida, no doubt about it. But you got to go Oklahoma here. They're plus 11 on the money. Oklahoma.
Don't you have to like really, really, really go Oklahoma?
No, not really. I mean, 66% of the bets are on them, 77% of the money. So it's a decent enough spread. This is almost like a position where Florida has to prove that they can do anything. And I'm not willing to say that Florida will be able to do a whole lot. I don't know. This is just one of those games where Oklahoma is going to win 41-24 and everyone's going to go, look at how great Oklahoma is and the SEC sucks.
Well, or Florida is going to lose by 17 and then Florida is going to say, we didn't care. We had nobody.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Also the other way.
Now, if Oklahoma loses to Florida, then everybody can say Oklahoma sucks.
Right. Yeah. Then you can say that. But yeah. I don't think Oklahoma sucks. I think they're
I don't think they do either. I mean, defensively, Ronnie Perkins and Nick Benito can provide a pass rush. The defensive backfield hasn't been as bad as recent years. They don't give up 70, 60 points anymore. So I don't think so either, but you gotta like Oklahoma. Yeah, we agree on
Oklahoma 41-31.
All right, so let's go to the first game, the 4:00. They should probably put this as the late game because you could put the kids to bed and they won't see a massacre. But the 4:00 game, Notre Dame and Alabama. Alabama favored by 19.5. Who do you got?
So my heart says and my head says Alabama, but my wallet says Notre Dame. Plus 19 on the money. So I don't know. I mean, the performance, here's how I kind of think about this game. Notre Dame's performance against Clemson was so pitiful.
Mm-hmm.
And Alabama's second half performance against Florida was so bad that Notre Dame has to play better. And Alabama, I would imagine, is looking to blow them out. So that doesn't really play all that much into one way or another. I have to think Alabama, Notre Dame's strength is its front. Alabama will be fine against those guys. I don't know how Notre Dame scores. I don't know how Notre Dame moves the ball in this game.
Well,
and
I mean,
so
the Alabama defense isn't that great.
No, they're not that great, but Notre Dame's offense isn't all that great. They just overpower people and then they trick them into throwing it. This is not Boston College. This isn't North Carolina. We saw what Clemson did to Notre Dame in a real game in the ACC championship.
So you got Alabama.
I have Alabama, but I don't think it's going to be all that high scoring, like 31-7, something like that.
Okay. Well,
I mean, to cover 20 points, you have to, that's a lot. I mean, you have to get to, 28-10 is a comfortable win, but Notre Dame covers that,
Yeah, but there's no way Alabama's scoring less than 40. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's defense is good, but Alabama is like an NFL football team. So
yeah, they are
on offense. Now, Notre Dame might put up some points on defense. They can run the ball and hang in there, but if they fall behind, then they're dead. What's the money line on Notre Dame winning? It's got to be like plus 500 or something.
Hold on, let me look.
That's, if you want to just.
That would be the best bet. The best bet, the way to insurance this bet is to bet Alabama big and then Notre Dame money line small, because then that way it's almost like you can't lose.
But you don't win.
Well, you lose the insurance, but you don't lose the bet.
It's got to be like, it can't be 350 or anything. It's got.
Hold on, it is plus 720.
Ooh, I'm taking the money line on that. Even if I just take like $10, right?
See, the over under is 65.5. I would lean toward the under. Notre Dame is not going to try to outshoot Alabama. They can't. I
hate the over under. That's a bad number right there. It's just right in the sweet spot.
65.5. Like, okay, let's say, an Alabama blowout. Notre Dame doesn't score.
You're right. Like 40-20 is still 5 below.
Even 52-10 doesn't get you to the over.
All right. I believe the under as well. We'll talk about all this offline, but the good game, which I also think is going to be a blowout. Ohio State, Clemson.
You think it's going to be a blowout?
I do. Clemson favored by 7.5. What we got?
Yeah, I think Clemson wins the game. The money right now is on Ohio State, which is a little confusing. I don't know. I think Ohio State really, really wants this game, and when that happens, it's close. Their secondary is not great, but are Clemson's receivers like phenomenally great?
They're really good. They're not, T. Higgins first rounder, or
they're not Justin Ross
first rounder, or Sammy Watkins or Hopkins. They're not like future superstars in the NFL, but Amari Rodgers, almost 1,000 yards, very, very good. Cornell Powell has emerged.
Has been great. Yeah,
he's been very, very good. Ladson's been disappointing.
He's hurt. Yeah.
EJ Williams is starting to show. This could be the ACC factor, though, too. Like, they probably haven't seen a defense this good. Your guy Nada has been horrible.
He's been hurt all year.
Ugh. 7 catches for a 5-star. Ugh.
He's been hurt. What do you want from him?
I want him not to be hurt.
If I were betting this game, which I'm not because it's illegal to do in California, can't do anything here. I would probably bet Clemson, but the sharp better probably takes Ohio State in this game.
Nah, see, this is the problem I have. Like, Trey Sermon's not going to run over Clemson like he did Northwestern, and he saved the day. Justin Fields has looked pretty poor against 2 teams this year.
He has not looked great.
Clemson's defense isn't great, but they're smart, disciplined. Venables will have a tremendous game plan. And Justin Fields is going to go out there and try to prove that he's better than he looked against Northwestern. Justin Fields is going to try to prove he's better than Trevor Lawrence. And Justin Fields is going to take chances. And I just think that Clemson's going to win this one by 21. Again, 66.5. You got to like the under there, too.
Don't forget, though, Mike, last year, if not for that incomplete pass, Ohio State's the winner.
Well, last year, Ohio State team was much better.
Yeah, that's true, too.
I mean, look at the guys they lost.
But I think Clemson was, too.
This guy, Chase Young, was pretty good. And everybody said, oh, he didn't do anything down the stretch. He disrupts every play of every football game.
Every play. Yeah.
And Okuda shuts down one side, period.
Yeah.
On and on. They've lost some big time players, obviously McLaurin too, and I just think, Olave's good.
Wilson is good.
Wilson's good. Yeah, he didn't.
And thank God they got those doctors to say 17 days. I mean, wow, that is incredible. That timing, huh?
But look at the other guy. I mean, Wilson and Olave, and then you go down from Wilson 38 catches to Olave 36 catches. Your next guy has 9, and that's your tight end.
Yeah.
And then Trey Sermon has 8. Like if Olave gets hurt, or if Wilson gets dinged up, or if those guys don't have great games, you're absolutely screwed. I like their offensive line, but they're thin at receiver, which you'd never think in a million years. But Julian Fleming isn't there yet. Jackson Smith in Jigba is not there yet. Like, he had one amazing catch, but he's had 6 catches all year long.
Yeah.
They don't use their tight ends.
No.
So, they're very one-dimensional. Plus, Trevor Lawrence is a better runner than Justin Fields. And people will laugh at that, but he is.
Definitely is.
You can stop Clemson if you're Ohio State. So that I'm saying
I'm taking Clemson.
Yeah, I got Clemson even with the hook. 7.5. I got Clemson.
I love hook games because the public thinks hook means take the other side, but that's exactly what Vegas wants you to do. That means Clemson by 10.
I hate the hook because I don't know how to gamble, but you're teaching me, even though it's illegal in the state of California.
Yeah, of course, I would never do such a thing.
Well, it's illegal in the state of Connecticut too, but not in the Bahamas or wherever my money's going. All right. And then we'll talk about the national championship game next week, but it's going to be Alabama and Clemson. I think we both agree on that, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Let's talk Heisman because that's next week. Normally we'd be done with all this stuff. Did you see my 3-point stance where I made cases for all 4?
I didn't. So I mean, I did, but you should review for people that weren't lucky enough to.
That's the biggest lie ever. Let's review. Okay. So here's the case I made. I pretended I was a lawyer. I'm pretty good at this writing stuff.
Most lawyers pretend that too.
That's true. So I put on my lawyer hat, and I even put 4 different lawyer hats in parentheses, but our editors took that out for some reason because they like to screw with my 3-point stance every single time. I can't be a lawyer for all of these guys. I can't say Kyle Trask should win, Trevor Lawrence. I got to be 4 different lawyers, and that's why I put it in there.
Right.
So, Kyle Trask, into evidence that's statistics for Kyle Trask. Ready? Through 11 games, he has more passing yards, touchdowns, and fewer interceptions than Joe Burrow last year through 11 games. And he played an all-SEC schedule. And everybody said Burrow had the best year ever for a quarterback. So how do you not give it to Trask? Forget the 3 losses.
That's it. It's over.
Boom.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
But Trevor Lawrence, and as his lawyer, I defer to his head coach, Dabo Swinney, who said that the Heisman should want their name associated with him more so than Trevor should want to be associated with the Heisman. He missed 2 games to COVID. He helped save college football with his social media presence earlier. Okay. He doesn't get to throw the ball 40 times a game like Trask. He's out in the 4th quarter pretty much all the time. And the Heisman Trophy should go to the best player in college football, period. And Trevor Lawrence is that player. Case in point.
Okay, but in lawyer speak here, you have no precedent because last year, or 2 years ago, it should have gone to Chase Young. And 10 years ago or whatever, it should have gone to Jadeveon Clowney. And we're talking about the best player in college football. Rarely is that a quarterback. All right. And it always goes to a quarterback.
No precedent. Case dismissed. So Trask is still alive.
Yeah.
Okay. Devonta Smith, I think you're going to go to precedent here too. But essentially, this is not a quarterback award with a running back every once in a while. It's supposed to be the best player in college football, right?
Yeah.
So don't punish my client for being a wide receiver. He led the nation in catches and yards. And this includes group of 5 guys too. And he leads Power 5 with 17 touchdowns as a wide receiver. He's the best player on the number 1 team in the country. Wide receiver. It's about time they get recognized. Devonta Smith should be the Heisman winner.
I have no problem with Devonta Smith being the Heisman winner, but to say he's the best player on that team is not true. Najee Harris is the best player on that team.
What about precedent, Mr.
Precedent? What precedent do I have here?
None. better seasons were had by Julian. What's his name? Julian Blackman.
Who?
Oklahoma State 100 years ago. Why do I want to say Julian? Because I got Fleming in my head. I don't know. Blackman at Oklahoma State and Crabtree at Texas Tech both had much better.
Justin Blackman.
What? Justin Blackman and Jeremy Crabtree. No. Michael Crabtree at Texas Tech both had seasons that were much better than this. Now, again, this is a shortened season. I get it, but nearly 2,000 yards.
See, those were injustices that should be rectified now.
And they each finished 5th in the Heisman Trophy voting. And those are the best wide receiver years you're ever going to see from somebody.
And he did it in the SEC.
And did it for, well, and those two guys, I mean, did it for nationally ranked football teams. That was the year Texas Tech beat Texas, and Oklahoma State, I think, was that their undefeated year or close to their undefeated year. So there's the precedent. It's just not going to happen. Like the last time it happened was what's his face? Desmond Howard. Which
and much like 2020 and voting fraud, the Alabama vote is going to be split, which will hurt the Alabama people.
Let's get to Mac Jones. Can you hear my dog?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So my groceries are here, and he's trying to go through the window to kill the person, literally jugular them to death, who's bringing my groceries.
Mike, you need to get out of the house. You need to experience the sunlight, walk around, get outside, breathe some fresh air. Don't get your groceries delivered.
Let me do my Mac Jones pitch, and then we'll talk about my level of depression. How about that?
Okay.
All right. Shut up. God, no one's going to want to come to this house. Mac Jones. My client may not be flashy, and you may think he has all these weapons at his disposal. You may think he's the 3rd best player on his own football team, but he leads all quarterbacks in completion percentage and QBR rating. And without him, Devontae Smith would not be in this discussion.
You don't think?
So he's the best player on the best team. That's my weakest argument. I mean, Mac Jones has no chance.
When you are a lawyer, don't say that your client has weapons at his disposal. That's not a good turn of phrase.
All right. Noted. Weapons, not good.
Mac Jones is going to win it, though, right? I mean,
no. Devontae Smith's going to win it.
Wait, you think Devontae Smith is going to win the Heisman Trophy?
Yeah, if you go based on the betting odds, which is illegal
Devontae's leading
in Connecticut, Devontae Smith is the betting favorite to win it.
Okay, I'd have no problem with that.
Now, Trevor Lawrence, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago was a plus 1,000. And guess who put a little bit on that?
Do they play that semifinal game before the
voting's done?
Voting's done. Okay.
Done. It's going to be announced next week. Mac Jones could throw 20 interceptions. Doesn't matter.
Here's why Kyle Trask should win, and I'm going to end it right here. Devontae Smith is definitely deserving. If he wins, he has no problem winning. Trevor Lawrence, to play 3 years of college football and to not win one Heisman Trophy is a joke. He's the best player in college football. I get that. He's the most talented player. But Kyle Trask, here's my argument, beat Joe Burrow's numbers in an all SEC schedule.
Yes.
And 3 losses. 3 losses? Is it 3? 2. 3.
3.
3 losses actually proves more that he should win it because he didn't have the talent that Joe Burrow had around him and still outpaced him in numbers. Kyle Trask, Heisman winner.
Okay, well, that's a fairly good argument, except, I mean, statistically, yes, he's 10 touchdowns ahead or so of Mac Jones. He's light years ahead in yardage, blah, blah, blah. They lost to Texas A&M. It was not Trask's fault. LSU lost was Marco Wilson in his shoe.
Oh yeah.
Although Trask did throw 2 picks. And Alabama, he just hung in there and kept putting up numbers and touchdowns, and it was his defense that lost that. So I get your point there. I have always been a proponent of wide receivers being involved in this. So
Yeah.
my pick is Devontae Smith, but my heart says Trevor because I think he's so exceptional. This is like Peyton Manning not winning a Heisman Trophy. You know, you got to go back in time and just say, let's redo that.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence is going to be phenomenal for the Jacksonville Jaguars under Urban Meyer. He's going to have a tremendous NFL career. I predict. He's great. He's been phenomenal at Clemson. And to not ever give him the Heisman Trophy just makes the Heisman Trophy just about stats and not about who the best player is.
Plus, we now have a sponsor for the Heisman, Nissan.
Yes.
Buco bucks into this Heisman thing, the Heisman Hunt, right?
Yes.
Devontae Smith is a nice kid. Very nice kid. You know, not overly personable. Just quiet, nice kid. Trask, not an overly personable person.
No.
Mac Jones has a great personality, as we know, covering him.
Yes.
But he's not flashy.
Does he reek of Heisman?
Right.
No.
Don't you want that flowing hair in the car with Herschel Walker or Tim Tebow having a discussion heading to the Heisman house in a Nissan?
Yes, definitely.
Now, unfortunately, Nissan doesn't vote on this, and I don't think they have the power to influence voters. But let's just go to common sense here. Trevor Lawrence in those commercials for the next 10 years would be awesome. So my heart says Trevor, my head says Devontae, your head says Trask. No, your heart says Trask. What does your head say?
My heart says Trask. Wouldn't have a problem with Smith, but it should be Lawrence.
All right. We won't talk about my depression rate this very second because it'll probably slow the show down a little bit.
Okay.
So let's get into the big January 2nd NBC show, which of the NBC All-American game. And there is no Under Armour game this year either because of COVID, because of that awful life-ruining situation, pandemic. They're going to do a 2-hour show where a bunch of kids are going to commit.
Yeah.
So there's a few that we care about. There's a few we don't care about. And
we care about them all, but just in a different measure.
Yeah.
Like some slightly and then some.
Let's kind of talk about the ones that we care about in a different measure. Corey Foreman, USC?
I still think it's USC. Yeah. I mean, I would imagine it's USC or Clemson that he was struggling with. I think USC closes strong. I still think it's USC.
I have USC as well for him. Tristan Lee.
I still think he goes to Oklahoma.
Me too.
Although Florida tried very hard. LSU seems to be maybe making a late push here, but Oklahoma has done very well along the offensive line. Coach Biedenbaugh is great. I think Oklahoma gets him, and I think he's very good there.
I think Caleb Williams is the key here. I think they've struck up a tremendous friendship. I think he's going to be his blindside guy, both from the DMV area. He'll have somebody go off to Oklahoma with. Florida, just they do well, but they can't seem to close on some big guys.
Yeah.
Big name guys, and I don't think they'll close on Lee. And LSU's confident, but I think they've been trailing for a while. So I think Florida gave him pause, and then he'll go to Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think so too.
Terrence Lewis was wearing one Tennessee cleat and one Maryland cleat recently at a football game. Playoff.
This caused Alvin Kamara a big fine in the No Fun League.
Yeah, but high school football in Florida, they're like, bring it on.
Lawless. I don't know what he does. I mean, I honestly don't know. I don't know if anybody knows. A couple of weeks ago, he'd only talked to Mike Locksley once. So I don't think he has visited Maryland, but I don't know. I mean, I'll take Maryland. I'll guess Maryland.
My sources initially thought he would stick with Tennessee, but as things got further and further along, confidence grew in College Park. I still think he's going to choose Tennessee, but I'm very, very torn.
Yeah.
I think coaching changes are coming, not Pruitt, but I think there are going to be some coaching changes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's worried about that or not. We'll see. Unless somebody jumped in here that we don't know about, because Florida liked him. He was committed there at one point in time, but off-field issues, Texas A&M, Miami, some other schools, just sort of off-field issues, kind of Auburn. Even before Gus left, Auburn was like hemming and hawing. So
yeah,
I'm going to say Tennessee, you say Maryland, and we'll see who's right on that one.
Okay.
So you're right. This is your expertise. This is your wheelhouse.
Yeah. He's in Space Jam 2 as LeBron James's son. He is very serious about a career in acting, and not just like doesn't do shows. He does commercials and shows all the time. He was going to be in North Carolina filming a show before the COVID shutdown, and he is very serious about business school. So those two things, plus the football side of things, I have to think he goes to USC. Just the opportunities that he'll have in LA, all of the name, image, likeness stuff that's coming down the road. I know Notre Dame is pushing. He's been serious about Michigan and even Utah playing with Clark Phillips. But I think he goes to USC as USC closes very strong.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think we can, he's not part of the show, but we could throw Rajon Davis in there for USC as well.
I think so too.
I think it's one of those, like it used to be, where the Southern California kids sort of like talk to each other and say, let's go to school together and do something special there. I think that's back. I don't know how long it lasts, but it's better than last year. And I think USC closes strong. So those are the ones that are really the big name poppers. So we've got lots of college football. We got playoffs. We got Heisman, and we got recruiting. And that's about it. We don't really need to talk Brian Harsin to Auburn, do we?
No, I like the hire. I think it's good.
How's he going to recruit? I mean, you better put together a staff.
Yeah, he will. And they'll go into Georgia and get some guys, and they'll go into Florida and get some guys. And Harsin's a very smart, offensive-minded, very quarterback-friendly coach. So I think that will help in terms of all of those things. He's still in a very difficult position because the SEC West is so good. And as we've seen this year, even if you have one loss against the best team in the country, you're not getting into the playoff. That's tough. And I know Nick Saban cried about, we're not looking at the other games and this and that, whatever else. But when you're asking $9, $10, $8 million a year, the expectation is getting into the playoff and winning national championships, not playing Cincinnati, on New Year's Eve. So if you're demanding that kind of money, if you're expecting that kind of money, well, the expectation is that you win national championships and not, there are other games to be played. And that's the problem with Auburn. They're a decent football team. They've played for national championships in the last 10 years. I think Harsin can get them back there, but they're in a division that is literally just awesome from top to bottom.
Yeah, and going into the SEC West, he's got a 90% chance of failure, I believe. Mm-hmm. And that's not fun. That's no good.
No.
Because LSU is going to rise back up,
yes.
whether Orgeron does it or some other coach, because their recruiting is just off the hook and they have the best home state advantage of any school. Texas A&M is on the rise. Jimbo's not going anywhere. And Saban's not going anywhere. So you've already got heavy competition within your own division, not even to mention across the way to Georgia and Florida. So, I think it's an interesting hire. he better go out and get the Tosh Lupoys of the world. And you know, the Sharks that can really recruit the Southeast.
Yep.
Otherwise, talent-wise, they're not going to be able to stack up. Fish at Arizona has an impossible job, right?
I don't think so. I wrote about this the other day. Did you read it?
Nope.
Arizona and Arizona State both have 6 winning seasons in the last 10. So it's not like Arizona State is so far ahead of Arizona in every way. The Sumlin years were just so bad there that we forget that the Rich Rod years were actually pretty good there.
Yeah, they won a division once. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to win the Pac-12 every year, but in-state recruiting there has been abysmal for as long as I've been doing this, and they just can't. Neither program can keep kids home. They keep some fringe kids home, but the Keely Ringos of the world and, you know, top to bottom, this recruiting class, they all left. It's just a very hard job. Now he'll be able to bring in some skill players and some quarterbacks. I don't know if that'll be enough to win the Pac-12. It's just a job where, you know, what is the expectation there? You know, 1 10-win season every 5 or 8 years, I think is pretty good. But Jed Fish has also been a guy that's really bounced around jobs. I mean, he is, I think over the last 20 years or so, he's only been at one job longer than 2 years. So we'll see if he does well there, if he just leaves for another better job.
Well, my issue is they can't recruit in-state because either can Arizona State, as you mentioned. Arizona State has put together a nice staff that has good connections to California.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough to compete with. So they're going to be second in the state when it comes to recruiting California.
And Gunnell just left. I mean, and Booby Curry just left. So that's tough. I mean, that's kind of an empty closet that has been left for them, empty cupboard.
Yeah, and being the quarterbacks coach of the New England Patriots for one season is not what it used to be because Tom Brady's not there. So it's not really a selling point that it was for, you know, who was it? Charlie Weiss and Bill O'Brien and those guys, you know, where they could say, listen, I worked with Tom Brady, you know, or they could lie and say, I made Tom Brady.
Right.
Like, look, I worked with Cam Newton this year. Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive because you guys suck. So nothing against them, but I think it's just sort of a interesting hire. And I think they're going to struggle. But that's it for those. So we can now move on to either you choose television or depression.
Let's hear depression, Mike. What's going on?
No,
it's the holidays. People get down during this time of year.
It's the winter. I don't like the winter, but yet I still live up here. It's cold. I can't golf because we got a lot of snow. Let's see what else. What else has got me down?
Why aren't you going out for your groceries?
You kidding me? With the unwashed masses? Absolutely.
Also true.
No way. Oh, I'm not. It's not like I don't leave the house, but I will not go to a grocery store or like any place where there's a lot of people. I'm not afraid of it. Yeah. I just don't want to be around them, even without a pandemic. I mean, I hated the grocery store pre-pandemic, so now it's like double.
Right.
Right. TV is okay. It's not great.
90 Day has been a little boring this year, if you ask me.
I probably ate too much bad food. So that's probably got my, what is it? My serotonin level's a little bit off.
How were the steak tips?
They were good. They were very good. I think I need one of those, first of all, I think I need vitamin D glasses. Have you seen those?
No.
They're glasses you wear. They're on 90 Day Fiance.
That lady with the ultraviolet looking thing?
Yes.
Why don't you just drink an emergency or something, or eat an orange, or?
That's vitamin C.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
why don't you?
I take a vitamin. Something. I take a vitamin D supplement, and sometimes I pop like 7 of them to try to get happier. So I need those glasses, and then I need what one of those seasonal affective disorder boxes, where you just sort of stare into the light, and it makes you happy. But no, I'm excessively buying things.
Yeah, that's not good.
I'm spending way too much money. I'm working
Yeah.
too much, and I know people will laugh at that work in our company, including you. But I'm working too much.
I didn't
Whatever. I don't know. I think I need a kickstart. I need like a. I need Verizon to pay for like an assistant. What do you think?
I don't know if an assistant would help you, but I do think that you should be the change that you seek, Mike. You need to get a bicycle or go out for a walk every day, 45 minutes. Your levels will get back up. The sun will hit you. You'll feel much better. You turn off the TV, don't watch the news, and everything will be fine.
I don't watch the news, but I did watch The Flight Attendant. Have you heard about it?
No, but I wouldn't be against watching it.
It's not great. It's not.
The ending is supposed to be really good, right?
No.
No? Oh.
Well, yeah, but no. It's a good show. Not great. It's not like The Boys or. Have you watched The Boys yet?
I haven't watched The Boys.
Okay. It's not like that or something else I watched recently that was really good.
Hey, did you watch The Undoing?
Dead to Me? Dead to Me?
Dead to Me is season 1 is great. Season 2 is terrible.
Wait, there's a season 2?
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I saw season 2. Did I watch what?
The Undoing with Hugh Grant and Nicole
Started
Kidman.
it. I started episode 1. I didn't get through 1 yet, but I started it. So I don't know what it's about. I have no idea. But I like Nicole Kidman.
Yep.
I really like the girl. I don't know what she is, the one with the baby.
Yes. Yes. She will not hang around for long, Mike.
Well, she's made a tremendous first impression on me. I'll tell you that much. So I like that. I'm going to watch The Undoing, and then I'm going to watch The Queen's Gambit. But
very good.
I'm watching 90 Day Fiance, and I've decided that I want to take sides with certain people. I've never done this before, where I've just, made a decision to take a side with somebody. So like Zayed and the filter girl.
Rebecca.
Yeah, Rebecca. I am team Zayed.
Okay.
I don't like her. I don't like her stupid, bed sheets with his face on it. I don't like the filter she uses. I don't like any of it. All right.
Okay.
A crazy chick and Mike. I'm team Mike.
Oh, yeah. I'm team Bojangles. He should not have had to move out.
He's out. But what's her name?
Look, she's complaining about how cold it is. She's from the Ukraine. It's quite cold there too.
Well, and so if you watch it back, the scene at the gas station, where she has to go, and be by herself, and then he comes up to her and gives her a hug and talks to her. She's wearing long boots initially. And then when he goes up and hugs her, she's wearing like flats. Makes me think that this show might be slightly staged.
Yeah, might be not exactly as truthful as we might hope it would be.
I don't have I mean, I like Tariq, I guess, but I don't care about them.
Yeah, I don't care about them at all.
Who am I missing?
What about the Yara side? Which side are you on?
Oh, Yara. I hate him.
Yeah, but she's such a complainer.
Absolutely.
She knew she was moving to New Orleans and then just wanted to completely redo his house. She made fun of his mother's food to his face, but he's a raging alcoholic that really needs help. I mean, he just drinks.
He's a goober.
Yeah, he is.
And she's extremely attractive. So I'm team Yara. Plus, she's straightforward.
And
he reminds me of Anfisa without the money grubbing. And Anfisa turned out to be good people. She did. I follow her. She's very good.
Runner.
She's a very good person. Who else are we missing?
The one in Dinwiddie, the mama's boy. Your team, whatever her.
I'm team whatever her name is.
Yeah.
He looks like he's 12.
Yeah.
I told you I've
He
been
acts
in
like.
the movie. They want her to be a farm girl and help. They won't let her sleep in the same room with him. Just go back. Go back and find a man, or just go drive down south to Richmond and find a man, or up to DC and find a man or something, just without parents that control everything he does. And you're not going to work on a farm. She's not a farm girl. What is she, a go-go dancer or something?
I don't know, but she's from the city, so this is not exactly where she wants to be.
Well, she tells him all the time to do stuff, which is right. I mean, he's a loser.
Yeah.
We're missing somebody, though. There's one other, right?
I don't think so. I think those are the ones.
It's not great.
No, it's not great. I'm still watching it and stuff, but I'm just like, nah, there have been better seasons than this. Oh, the one who has been detained in Mexico City.
Oh, okay. So I'm team French girl, whatever her name is.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I think he's like a pathological liar.
He also said that it was one of the worst days of his life as he was hanging out at a Puerto Vallarta hotel, and she was detained in some city prison
resort. Yeah.
So
he reminds me of a combination of Colty and the pothead guy with Anfisa. Like, I think he lies like the pothead.
Yeah, he's very like Colty, I think.
And I think he thinks he's charming and funny like Colty. And she's nothing. I mean, she's kind of annoying too, but I'm team French girl. So, but
yeah, me too.
It's not a great season. They need to step it up. Have you been watching 1,000 Pound Sisters?
No, we have not been watching 1,000 Pound.
So one of the 1,000 Pound Sisters, and it's not 500.
Okay.
It's like 650, 350. 350 lost some weight after the surgery, and now she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
650 has to be 950 now. She is so big. Like, they did a wide angle shot of the two of them on a couch, and they couldn't fit at the end. So I watched that. I watched 600 Pound Life. There's a new season starting in December as well. If you can get through the first 10 minutes of that, where they're, doing their business in a bucket or being bathed like an elephant, then that's fine. Because it's always fun when they go there and they say that they think they lost weight and then they gained weight, and then they tell Dr. Now that they follow the diet, which is like a 1,200 calorie diet, and they're 700 pounds, and it would take 20,000 calories to maintain 700 pounds, and they don't know where they went wrong. So that's right. And then the other one that I started watching, which I vomit at, is Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh God, you need to get off TLC. That
is this why I'm depressed?
Yes, that is all disgusting. None of it's educational or of any value. It's disgusting stuff. Stop watching those shows, Mike. That's why you're depressed.
How does a lump on your neck get to be 7 pounds, and you've had it for 20 years, and you finally decide to go to the doctor?
Yeah, and you've never gone to the doctor to check what this could be. No.
Like it's now 7 pounds. It's a child's bowling ball. I have a serious question,
Mike. Where are all of your figurines?
My buddy came over. He's very OCD. Okay. And he moves my office around a lot.
Okay.
So he moved my figurines over there, which you can't see. You can see one of them. That's Robert Kimdiche. You can see. Mm-hmm. And then he moved around the helmets. So now we got BC up there. We got Oregon State somewhere, Maryland, Nebraska with the 3 Heisman finalists signing it.
The old Patriots helmet.
The old Patriots helmet I found. My wife found it actually at an antique store at the Cape. That's a game-worn helmet. We don't know who it is, but that's a 1970s game-worn helmet. So I'm lying to everybody and telling it's John Hannah, right? And then
Get him to sign it.
here, and then other helmets up here, but he moved them. And he does that weekly because he's really bored in December. I mean, in the winter, he gets very bored. So he comes over and just moves stuff around. My latest helmet, I'm trying to think of what my latest helmet was. You want to see it?
Also, Mike, what did you get for Christmas?
Nothing. Oh, well, what we do is I woke up December 25th and I said, hey, let's do this. Let's both buy ourselves something ridiculously expensive for Christmas. And we did. So mine are coming Thursday. They're helmets.
What did you buy it?
They're helmets.
Oh my God.
I have a real problem. I do. They're like shiny jewelry to me. I love them. So
Yeah.
I'm a loser. I'm a complete loser. What did you get for Christmas, Mr. I'm not a loser?
We took a trip to Disney World for the week and decided that that would be our gift to each other.
Yeah, that's a gift.
The gift that keeps on gifting.
Nothing like wearing a mask 24 hours a day, standing in line all day, 6 feet apart from the unwashed masses, and the 1 year you don't have to travel. Let's go to Orlando.
Yeah, let's go to Orlando.
The greatest place on earth. Do you know how happy I am that I'm not in Orlando right now?
Yeah. What are you doing for New Year's? Are you doing lobster?
So this is the first time in 20 years that I've been home for New Year's.
Yeah.
I mean, San Antonio and Orlando.
Yeah.
I don't have any plans yet, but that's a good idea. I think I'm going to do another Omaha Steaks thing. Maybe not Omaha Steaks, but I think we're going to get some food and that's the playoff, right?
No, the playoffs the next day.
Oh, no, New Year's. Oh, that's New Year's Day. So New Year's Eve is Thursday. Oh shit, it's too late. It's too late to get anything.
You can't get anything like in the mail now.
No, but I could, yeah, I just did an Instacart though with nothing. So, I don't know. I'll do something. I'll be in bed by 10. Like every New Year's. What time am I in bed usually?
You know what's going to be annoying about this New Year, which is fine with me, whatever, but all they're going to talk about is COVID all night.
2021 is going to be a new year.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God.
2020 sucked. 2021 is going to suck too.
Yeah, I think 2021 is going to suck until at least the summer, and then hopefully there's a some sort of better.
Yeah, but something else is going to come along and suck it up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like 2019 was the greatest year.
It was certainly better than 2020.
Right.
I'll tell you what. And 2020 wasn't that bad because I could still golf and I could get outside and walk. But now that I'm trapped in the house, it's a little bit rough. So
yeah,
I'm looking around for stuff, but there's nothing to show. I have to pee really badly too. So let's end this.
Great.
Yeah, I got no helmets to show you, but I'll show you my new ones next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Because I'm such a loser. So, and I'm glad we're repping the camp stuff too, because that's coming soon. Watch out for the camps.